In 1984, one of the most controversial horror movies was released when Silent Night, Deadly Night, a story about a troubled young man named Billy Chapman who dresses up as Santa Claus at Christmas time and goes on a murder spree, hit cinemas. It's a rather tame film compared to where the genre is at today, but 4 decades ago, parents were outraged that Saint Nick could be a killer, leading to Silent Night, Deadly Night being quickly pulled from theaters. This only served to make the film an immediate cult classic, resulting in a wild 5-entry franchise and a quasi-reboot called Silent Night in 2012. In 2025, Silent Night, Deadly Night returns for more holiday horror, now with Mike Nelson writing and directing, and Rohan Campbell is the new demented Billy with a terrifying obsession with Santa. The original Silent Night, Deadly Night, which has its moments, is a flawed exercise, so judging the newest reboot isn't about comparing it to the past. Although Nelson and Campbell do create something that can live alongside and away from the original, the choices they create for Billy make this more an imitation of Halloween Ends and Dexter, and not a red bag filled with frights.
What is Silent Night, Deadly Night about?
Silent Night, Deadly Night starts with Billy as a child visiting his grandfather at the hospice home where he lives. It's Christmas time, and his parents are being naughty while a strange man watches from the shadows. When they leave the home, they are encountered on a barren road by a man in a Santa suit who kills Billy's parents right in front of him, similar to how it goes down in the original 1984 film. After that, Nelson's movie thankfully goes in its own direction and doesn't try to lazily recreate the past. Outside a deer antler kill, Silent Night, Deadly Night is light on Easter eggs. When we meet Billy as an adult, he isn't on the verge of a meltdown. He's already there, hacking up people for years while dressed as Santa. When he arrives in a new small town, he gets a job working at a local shop a few days before Christmas. As his luck would have it, this place sells nothing but trinkets and figurines related to the holiday. Still, it's not all bad, because his co-worker, the boss's daughter Pam, played by Modine, is a troubled soul too, complete with anger issues that caused her to react violently, and a stalker ex-boyfriend. They quickly fall head over heels, accepting the other's flaws because they so match their own. Billy is compelled to kill someone every day leading up to Christmas, pushed by the voice in his head who points out his next victims. How long will he be able to get away with his murder spree? And what will happen if Pam ever finds out who he really is?
Silent Night, Deadly Night takes too much from Halloween Ends and Dexter.
When it was announced that Rohan Campbell would be playing Billy in Silent Night, Deadly Night, it was a case of perfect casting. Many fans disliked Halloween Ends because it didn't have enough Michael Myers, rushed the showdown with Laurie Strode, and introduced Campbell as Corey Cunningham out of nowhere when he would have been better off being part of Halloween or Halloween Kills as well. Still, Halloween Ends tried to be different, and Corey was the best part, as a troubled young man who makes a mental link with the boogeyman and puts on the William Shatner mask to go on his own killing spree. The main problem with Silent Night, Deadly Night is that it's pretty much Halloween Ends, with the white mask replaced by a Santa suit. Was Campbell cast because he'd already played someone so similar? In the 1984 film, Billy is abused in the orphanage he lives in, and finally has a psychotic break after putting on a Santa suit. The newest take should be commended for taking it in another direction, but it loses points for copying another movie so lazily. Rather than simply being warped by what the killer Santa did to his parents, there are hints that there might be some supernatural link between them, like Corey had with Michael Myers. And just like Corey Cunningham takes up with the broken Allyson, who has a stalker ex-boyfriend cop in Halloween Ends, in Silent Night, Deadly Night, Billy falls for the broken Pam, who has her own abusive man of the law. It's the exact same beats. Another change from the original film is that this Billy seems to have a code, not killing anyone who his demented soul deems naughty, but punishing actual bad people. A mysterious big bad serial killer is even out there needing to be caught. And how does Billy do it? There's a voice in his head, which sounds so much like Venom, telling him who to focus on. Is it real or part of his delusions? That's a twist worth following, but in the meantime, this part of Silent Night, Deadly Night might as well be Dexter Morgan suited up as Kris Kringle.
Silent Night, Deadly Night has blood but little scares.
An unoriginal slasher isn't anything surprising. Even the biggest fans of the subgenre loved them in part because of the tropes. But is Silent Night, Deadly Night at least scary and gory? Nelson does a swell job of making this truly feel like the Christmas season, but in the era of Art the Clown, the kills are rather tame. There is some blood and guts here and there, although it's perhaps a good idea not to overdo it and try to replicate Terrifier's extreme gore. A little goes a long way most of the time.
We do get one scene of mass carnage that takes place at a club, with Billy going on an axe-wielding bloodbath, but instead of it being an example of what could work in Silent Night, Deadly Night, it's the epitome of why it doesn't reach its potential. For the most part, however, the film is a dark character study. But when Billy finds a party filled with some very naughty people, it becomes over the top and cartoony, with our killer Santa slaughtering everyone with ease as if this were a John Wick sequel. Worse, we root for Billy to kill them. Any semblance of true horror is removed because Billy is presented as the good guy. He's not a monster or someone for the audience to be afraid of, but a messed-up anti-hero we sympathize with and cheer on. This is a reboot of a cult classic horror movie, yet there's nothing all that terrifying about it. This Silent Night, Deadly Night isn't on par with the creepy killer Santa from Tales from the Crypts all through the house. This is Violent Night at times, with a script built on Halloween Ends and Dexter. It's well acted and not schlocky, but it's one of those presents you open on Christmas, excited to receive it, only to forget about it the next day. Silent Night, Deadly Night comes to theaters on December 12.